So who's ready for another market update? However, I'm not going to do the typical market update. I'm going to do one for Hillsborough County. So that's what I'm talking about today. Stick around. Hi, welcome back. My name's Joe Brown. I'm a real estate agent with Century 21 List with Beggins, located in South Tampa. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So a few weeks ago, I did a 9-month view of the real estate market in South Tampa. So I thought it'd be worthwhile to do a 9-month view. So from January 25 through September for all of Hillsborough County. So I have several graphs I want to share with you. And I like doing this long term just because we can see things graphically and how things are moving. So let's take a look, first of all, at active listings. And what do you see in active listings? Yeah, so May was the high. At that time, we had approximately 7,900. I think it was 7,932 active listings on the market. And since then, it's come down. And September ended with around 7,200. So we lost about 700 listings over that time. So now the second data point I look at are new listings, people putting their house on the market. And what do you see? Yeah, April was the high, right? So a lot of people put their homes on the market. And since then, it's come down. You can see there was just a very slight increase from August to September, but not much. But once somebody puts their house on the market, what's the median amount of time that it sells? Now, I need to go back to when I was a math teacher and define median. Median is in the middle, right? So that means some houses are selling faster than that, and some houses are selling longer than that. But this is just the median. And you can see, you see the dip in like May and June, and it's gone back up. And so right now it's about 38 days is the median amount of time that homes are selling. So you see that dip. But let's take a look at number of sales. And what do we see here? Yeah, number of sales. So you have that May, June time frame. That was the high. And thinking about it logically, right? So if families with children want to move and get settled before the school year starts, they're going to start looking for homes in the spring. So they close in May and June, and you see that spike. And since then, the number of sales has decreased. And September, we were right about 1,500 sales for the month. 1,500. What about median sales price? So look here, there's really not a lot of shift, right? So January median home price was $375,000. September ended at $395,000. I think August was $398,000, right? So it's just really been a steady market, which, let me put this other graph, well, I'll come to that graphic in a second. Let's take a look at the ratio. And this is what a house sells for as to what it was originally priced at. And this is the way I explain it. If I list my house for $500,000 and I sell it at $450,000, that's a 10% decrease. So I sell my house for 90% of what I originally had it priced at. So here's the ratio. Now, the graph, you look at it and say, boy, that's drastic, isn't it? Well, not really, right? So if you look at the high mark is 96.4%, and the very low, which was in September, was 95%. It's a 1% difference. Now, so what's 1%? Well, if the average home, let's say rounded up, is $400,000, 1% is $4,000, right? So that's really the difference between the high a few months ago to the low in September was about $4,000. I want to show you months of inventory. And again, we look at number of homes on the market and how many homes are selling per month. And so that ratio gives us months of inventory. Now, this assumes nobody else puts their home on the market, and the number of sales continues to be what it is. Well, months of inventory, yeah, so listen, January's a weird month, right? People are just coming off the holidays. They're really not thinking about buying a home. So months of inventory was quite high. But since then, we've really been in the range of 4 to 5 months. Not 45 months, 4 to 5 months. What that means is it's really a balanced market, right? So the number of sellers, number of buyers, kind of equal. I've seen some data showing there's more buyers out than there are sellers. Now, all of this indicates why number of days to sell has increased. It's why median sales price has held steady. And what that means, right? So if months of inventory, if there's very little supply, home prices are going to accelerate quickly. If there are more homes than buyers, you're going to see home prices decrease. Well, go back to median sales price. There really hasn't been a lot of change over the year, right? We started at 375, went up to like 400. Now we're at 395. So it's really remained steady. So we can't say it's a buyer's market yet. Will it be? I don't know. But we just have to see what's going to happen. I do want to show you this next graph, which is number of expired listings. So look at this. You see the past few months, it has really spiked up. So I just want to talk a little bit about why listings expire. So here's what it means when a listing expires. If you contact me and say, Joe, I want you to sell the house, we sign a listing agreement that I will list your house for sale and market it for 6 months. Well, at the end of 6 months, we can either extend the listing or we can just let the listing expire. So your home is no longer on the market. Well, that's what we're looking at in this graph. The listings have expired. So why would a listing expire? Either the house has not had any offers, or the seller has not accepted any offers, right? Now, I will tell you just from experience. So I had a house listed in South Tampa for $480,000. We received offers. Absolutely, we received offers for $270,000. And my seller was offended, said, I'm not taking that. There have been a lot of offers for seller financing. And it goes something like this. Hey, we'll pay your seller $10,000 right now. And they hold the note and will pay the seller $1,000 a month and then in 10 years we'll pay the balance off. Well, that's no good because the seller becomes the bank. And so who owns the house? I mean, it's a mess. So I understand why listings expire. Also, just my experience, the number of sales, the number of showings, the number of requests for showings has decreased. It's been a very slow market for several areas, right? Now, there are homes that you look east part of the county, and you have Apollo Beach, Brandon, Riverview. Those, we see more activity there than in other areas of the county. And remember, if we look at sales, we had 1,500 homes sold in September. It's gone down. So the whole point with the expired listings, I expect we're going to see a change. So a couple things are happening here, right? So we're in October right now. So the families with children that wanted to get in a place before school starts, well, school has started, so they may not be eager to move right now. Second, mortgage rates have come down. We started the year February, March, something like that. We were close to 7%. Maybe it was even later, but we were at 7%. Now the latest figure is we are just under 6.2%. So that saves homeowners a couple $100 per month, depending on the amount of loan that they take, right? So homes, at least on the mortgage side, are more affordable. So that may prompt people to buy. However, we're also going into holiday season. So next week is Halloween. Then in a couple weeks, we're going to have Thanksgiving. Then in a couple weeks, we're going to have several holidays between Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and New Year's. So there will be a lot of reasons that people say, I'm just going to wait, right? But waiting, you never know what's going to happen with the rates. Rates are coming down. Are they going to continue to come down? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. So, and as I said several weeks ago in a different video, it is all about affordability. What can families afford? Not just mortgage payments, but homeowners insurance and property taxes and health insurance, right? So there's a lot of factors in all of this. So anyway, I hope you found this information interesting. Go to my website, joebrownc21.com. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Listen, even if you just want an idea of what your house could sell for, or if you're a buyer looking for something, please reach out to me. Let me see if I can help you. Listen, I'm not going to guarantee you that I can help you, but I will guarantee that I'll try to help you, okay? So, hey, thank you so much for being here with me today. As I said, go to my website, joebrownc21.com. You can search for homes. You can read my blogs. I have mortgage calculators out there. I'm here to be your trusted advisor. Until next week, take care.